Welcome back, Bulls fans. I have another rumor for you today. I know not everyone loves rumors, but this one's a pretty fun one. Joe Cowley has said in his latest article and on Twitter that Tari Eason is not a name to count out when it comes to the Bulls' offseason plans. So today, I want to get into a little bit about Tari Eason, his stats, his strengths, his weaknesses, and I'll give kind of an overview on how I would feel about going about trading for Tari. But before I get into all of that, I want to know, are you guys excited for this rebuild? I'm excited for this rebuild, but I want to know if you guys are. If you are, hit that like button down below. So Tari Eason, as a lot of fans know, is a power forward for Houston. He's 6'8", 7'2" wingspan. He's currently 25 and just wrapped up his fourth year in the NBA. And honestly, wouldn't be the worst idea. It'd be nice to have another power forward, especially one with a lot of playing experience. Don't get me wrong, love Leonard. I love Leonard. He didn't have a ton of in-game experience. Noah got hurt instantly, so he has no in-game experience. So it'll be nice to have a power forward that has that in-game experience and has experience as a starter while we get Leonard really hitting his groove more, get Noah acclimated to actually playing in the NBA, not just being on the team. I think it seems interesting, guys. I don't know about you guys, but it's an interesting rumor. So his stats last year, in 25.8 minutes per game, he scored 10.5 points per game, had 1.5 assists, 6.3 rebounds, half a block, and 1.2 steals, and 41% field goal shooting. And that's the one thing that stuck out to me negatively about his box score was that 41.6%. Now, if a point guard or a shooting guard has a lower field goal percentage, I'm not going to be too upset. They're going to be shooting the most threes statistically. They're more often than not going to be putting up the most shots. So a lower field goal percentage, I get. But we're talking about a power forward here. And even for a guard, I would start getting worried around like 43%. We're talking about a power forward. And 41.6 as a power forward, little bit not even a little bit, a lot of it concerning. It's gonna be interesting to see if he's just inefficient because he's naturally inefficient, or if it's one of those where just fix a little bit in his jumper, just get him more shots, it'll come around. That'll be interesting to see. But for everything else, honestly, not bad for a starter. He started anywhere from a third to half of his games this year. So had 60 games, so a good sample size for the season. And honestly, 10.5 points in 26 minutes a game, I'm pretty happy with. I think that's pretty solid for a starter. Now, his strengths, mostly defense oriented, just kind of overall defense, defensive IQ, steals. The steals were the main thing that jumped out to me on his box score was the 1.2 steals per game. Very good numbers for a power forward. And I'm sure a lot of that has to do with him splitting time between power forward and small forward, which makes me feel really good because that shows that he has a good perimeter defensive ability. He's always clogging the passing lanes. That's one thing I love from his tape. Always clogging passing lanes, always making good reads, always flying all over the place. Should be a very good add to this team defensively if we were to trade for him. And kind of with the clogging passing lanes, as I mentioned before, he has a 7'2" wingspan, which is very much a big strength of his and a big reason why he's able to have pretty good steals numbers is with that long wingspan, he's able to get into the passing lane much easier, able to deflect passes better, able to just grab the pass out of the air easier. Like I said, that helps with the steals, and I think that is a big reason why he would be such a good add to this team, is he could add another perimeter defender, as Modest can't do everything. I mean, knowing Modest, he'd be okay with doing everything. Knowing him, he probably thinks he can do everything. But first off, he can't do everything because no one can do everything. But also, he doesn't need to. We don't need to put that burden on him of being everything, of being the guy to do everything for this team. He's going to be doing most for the team next year because he's back in the lab, showing a lot of good workout clips. He made a lot of improvement last year. So it's definitely his team next year. He's definitely going to be taking the brunt of just everything in general. But even if your star can, there's no reason to make him do everything. Because if you're making him do everything at an incredible level, he won't be able to. I'd rather him be able to focus on doing everything really good or do a few things incredibly than have to worry about doing everything good in order to keep the team afloat, if that makes sense to you guys. So I think having another defender would just really benefit Modest and just the defense in general. And the last one I have is his fouls. That was another thing that really, really stuck out to me from his box score and just watching in general. He's very good about not fouling. He averaged 2.4 fouls a game, which it can always be lower, but I'm not going to knock him for that. Being a very defense-oriented guy, I'm not going to be too upset with 2.4 fouls a game because that shows that he's able to still get a good amount of steals. He's getting 1.2 steals a game, but he's not sacrificing his fouls to get it. He's not averaging 4 fouls a game trying to get 4 stocks a game. So overall, I think his fouls to stocks ratio, pretty solid, pretty respectable. Now, unfortunately, with strengths come weaknesses. Everyone has weaknesses. Inconsistent shooter, as I said, 41.6% from the field. I can't sugarcoat that. That's not good. But hopefully it really goes with the third point there, the low release. He has a very low release on his jumper. So in my eyes, that's a big reason why he's inconsistent. So maybe if we can get him with a good shooting coach, just kind of raise that release point a bit higher, maybe his shot will start falling more consistently and that field goal percentage will rise and the inconsistency won't even be an issue anymore. Not to mention the release won't even be an issue either. Another one is turnovers, and the turnovers kind of goes with the tunnel vision. He very much has tunnel vision at times, just very, okay, I have the ball, it's my turn to get it in the basket. Not really being like, oh, okay, I'm going to drive to get this in the basket. I'm going to get into my spot to get a shot. But let's say Reed Shepherd's open over there. He's not necessarily always going to make that pass. He's got that tunnel vision, kind of has his blinders on, so he doesn't always see that open man that he can kick it out to. And because of that, it leads to turnovers in the half court setting. Just one of those where it's just if you can get those blinders off, you're kind of killing 2 birds with 1 stone there. If you can get those blinders off, the tunnel vision naturally will go away. And if the tunnel vision is going away, then naturally the turnovers are going away. But as it stands right now, definitely 2 weaknesses for him, especially in the half court setting. And the final weakness I have here is injury history. He's been dealing with some, I believe it was oblique injuries the past few years. His rookie year was the only year he played all 82 games, which I'm not going to sit here and say playing all 82 games is the only way to prove that you're not injury prone. But outside of his rookie year, this was the only other year where he played more than 55 games. He's been kind of stagnating in that low 50s. And even his second year, he only played 22 games because of injury. And I think last year he played 55. So, and then this year, like I said, played 60. So, it's not one of those where he's playing 20 games every year, but he did have that 20 game season and then followed it up with only being able to make it 55, which definitely a big improvement. But if you're only improving 5 more games past that and dealing with injuries this year, it is a cause for concern. I'm not going to sit here and say he's never going to have a healthy season, but there is a track record of some injuries, some keeping him out of games, some just kind of hampering performance while he's in the game. It's something that's there. It's definitely a weakness. Hopefully, we can get him with the medical staff, and the medical staff can kind of ease those aches and everything and ease those injuries. But as it stands right now, definitely a cause for concern. My overall take on trading for Ari or for Tari, go for it. If he clearly doesn't want to stay in Houston, if he's declining the contract extension, so I would say trade for him, see if we can get him on a team-friendly deal. He's right around Modest's timeline. Like, Modest and Giddey are, and all the guys we have are in that 19 to 22 range. He's 25. So he's definitely going to hit his prime earlier than the others, but he's still going to be in his prime when Modest and the crew are in their prime. So therefore, I'm open to it. It's really going to rely on the contract because, like I said, injury history definitely knocks the price down a bit. Definitely some glaring weaknesses, drops down the price a bit. And overall, I just want to see if we can get another young player from outside the organization in the organization with the cap room we should be able to have. Like, obviously, drafting, but I want to see if we can make room for another player in that like 21 to 23 range. Just another player that is going to be on Modest's timeline. Because with me, I'm building this solely around Modest. Everyone on this team should be built around Modest's strengths and maximizing those strengths around Modest's weaknesses, minimizing those weaknesses. I think Modest in 2 to 3 years' time can be one of the best players in the league. It's just a matter of if Bryson can get the coaches to help develop him, but also get the guys around him that elevate his game. And I think Tari can be a guy like that. Like I said, good defender, so can take some of the defensive pressure off Modest. Scoring has some ways to go, but if we can get the scoring reeled in, that's just another person to have the defense focus on and take eyes off Modest and let Modest work. So overall, 25-year-old player can hopefully get him on a team-friendly deal. I say if the Rockets aren't being unreasonable with their asking price, I say go for it. Very least, we need to make the call and see what they're asking for. But those are my thoughts. If you disagree, or even if you agree, Let me know down in the comments below. I love interacting with you guys. I love having discussions with you guys. That's why I love this fan base so much. We're such an active fan base, and I love having these conversations with you guys. I love seeing how everyone's thinking about this team. But with everything being said, everything that I laid out, all the strengths, weaknesses, everything, I want to know what you guys think. Do you want to see Tari Eason trade his Rockets red for Bulls red? Comment absolutely or not whatsoever down in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts. Is there anything about him that you like? Is there anything about him that you don't like? Whatever it is, let me know down below. Let's have a discussion. I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking about all these rumors and potential moves. Now, please share, please subscribe. We're trying to reach 1,900 subscribers. We're roughly 70 away, so we're pretty close to it. We'd love for you guys to subscribe and be here. Jordan and I are talking all the time. We love having you guys around. We love making this content for you. We have a lot of content in the vault for you guys in the coming weeks. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff closer to the draft too. So please make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you have the notifications on. We don't want you to miss any piece of Bulls news. And with that being said, thank you for joining me today. Like I said, I love making these videos for you guys. I love having the discussions in the comments that I always have with you guys on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, even here, whatever platform. You guys are so active and you guys are always telling us how you feel. And I love it. I love having these conversations with you guys. So please make sure you're liking. Please make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you're sharing. And with that being said, till the next rumor, as always, see Red Bulls Nation.